Diabetes Assessment Journal. Explain the results of your assessment and identify your risk of diabetes. In the introduction of the assessment of the textbook for diabetes risk, it explains that any more than 5 checks in the yes column and an individual should see a doctor for a urine test. I checked 4 in the yes column and 6 in the no column. Although I did not reach all 5 needed, I may still be at risk for diabetes if I do not watch my health further. My biggest risk factor, I think, is the fact that I have many family members with the condition, as I know genetics can play a part in a lot of conditions. I am also overweight, and I realize that obesity and diabetes may go hand in hand. I had never realized being constantly thirsty was an issue until reading the chapter. My other checked off selection was that I am frequently tired, of which I know can be an issue if it gets too out of hand. Examine the relationship between health and wellness by discussing the impact of diabetes mellitus on at least 3 dimensions of wellness. Diabetes mellitus would have a major impact on health and wellness in many, if not all, dimensions. It may play a huge role on the emotional dimension as it is a major health condition and would weigh heavy on the psyche. Emotionally speaking, diabetes may make the person stress more so with trying to be cautious and changing lifestyle habits in order to treat the condition. It may also play a role on social dimension because of the lifestyle changes needed to treat the disease. A person may feel isolated if a majority of social interactions they were experiencing involved activities that were harmful or not suitable for living with diabetes. Perhaps this could be as simple as getting together for drinks after work on a Friday. With the high levels of sugar and alcohol, that person may not feel like going to the bar. They may also not want to be involved in activities where they feel it is too much work finding a restroom constantly, or if they feel they may not be able to properly monitor their blood sugar. Diabetes can also impact the physical dimension as it may make carrying out daily tasks harder on the individual. Identify 3 lifestyle habits a person can practice to reduce his or her risk of type 2 diabetes. As I mentioned already, diabetes can be linked to obesity. This means that a person who wants to lower their risk of developing the condition would need to adjust their dietary intake and eat foods that properly fuel the body and not rely on sugary foods and drinks. This would cut the risk for obesity immensely while also cutting down the risk for diabetes. Also helpful in cutting the risk of obesity and diabetes is adapting a physical fitness plan. Getting the proper exercise is important for keeping the body at optimal levels and lowering risk for the conditions. Doing research would also not only benefit a person to improve their intellectual dimension of wellness, but it would also improve their knowledge on the disease itself. Knowing what the condition is and how to prevent it is just as important as treating it. Prevention of the condition is key in maintaining optimal health, and this research would be beneficial to someone who does not want to get the condition.